Greetings, like-minded America First patriots. I'm Dan Albert, and I'd like to speak to you today about the Albert Plan mock election. And this is hopefully a short version. It's really quick and simple, but still watch this on 1.5 speed because it gets a little slow if you just want to watch my slowness. So the Albert Plan to Restore Election Integrity is my book. On page 105, there's 15 elements of election integrity. We need to have election integrity meetings. We have to have page 105 meetings. We need to discuss, kick around all these ideas. I assert that this plan is the gold standard by which we should measure all other initiatives to restore election integrity. By the way, welcome to the Albert Plan kitchen. I'm cooking up this recipe for election integrity, and it's a very simple plan to bake the cake with election integrity baked in the cake instead of the fraud that the left has baked in their cake. So what I have in front of me is there are 3 clear plastic bins. There's a 4th one here. I get these, I picked up these at Lowe's. $20 price, but I got them at $8 for some reason. So I like to save money. So basically here I've got, and I've put these sets together that are already pre-arranged with my mock election ballots, which I've printed to look like they're red, white, and blue. The back has what would make it appear to be red, white, and blue, and the front, obviously, red, white, blue. It makes it really easy to sort these ballots because with a federal election, there's only a need for 3 ballots, red, white, and blue. So by having mock elections using these ballots between now, well, for all time, we need to have these mock elections. But when every state establishes their federal election ballots, then we could run mock elections with federal elections, which, by the way, federal elections need to be decoupled from state and local. Red, white, and blue piece of paper, Congress, Senate, and President. It's a really simple thing to restore election integrity if we want it. So federal election day, we have 3 ballots. Those 3 ballots, I've printed these red, white, and blue mock election ballots. They're available in kits. This box is 1,000 of these sets, 1,000 of each color. And when you look at these ballots, there are 250 in the packages that I get. So when we're counting these ballots up, we're using these binder clips for hundreds and 20s and 5s. So when you're reporting results, you know, it's like counting money, folks. You know, there's 100, 200, 220, 240, 245, 250 ballots right there. They've been checked, they've been verified, they've been sorted, they've been counted and recounted and recounted. Partisans have looked at it. It's all under transparent live stream video, and we use a medium binder clip for hundreds. We use a mini binder clip for 20s and a paper clip for 5s. And then singles, of course, are easy to count, up to 4 singles. So the sorting, the counting, the balloting, we have to have, you know, I've printed these with thumbprints on the back. One of the essential things to have election integrity is to lock down every opportunity for election fraud. And I propose a limited use database where we, the people, well, everyone in this country would establish their legal status by using our God-given method of identifying ourselves. And we would clean up our legal immigration system, or it's not a system, it's a system to bring in illegal immigration right now. That's what they're doing. People are trying to destroy this country. We can see it all around us. But this limited use database would permit us to clean up the illegal immigration problem. It would clean up our election integrity problem, and the census would just pop right out when it comes time for the census. By having all this limited use database where we, the people, are responsible for updating our residents and our voting precinct. You know, when we move, we're eligible, if we're citizens, we're eligible to vote where we move to, and the government wants to tax us to death. So, you know, we have to be responsible for that and take that responsibility away from all these people at these election jurisdictions and in blue states that don't want to have election integrity, that inflate their voter rolls, that leave dead people on, that leave voters that have moved out of state on, and they mail millions of unsolicited ballots to people. What could go wrong with that? So that's a really huge problem. And if we have day of elections, we have a database that's at 30 days prior to the election, we lock down the registration. You can't, you have to register to vote, and the jurisdictions have to publish the list of eligible voters 30 days before the election. How difficult is that? And then 3 days after the election, they publish the list of actual voters. We, the people, need to vet. We need to be able to vet both of those lists. 20 people live in an apartment or a vacant lot, that's bogus, folks. So that thumbprint is the ticket to eliminating 99.99% of opportunities for fraud. Like it or not, it's a very limited thing, and part of the restoring of election integrity is where we get to the point where we could take down the big tech, big government cartel that's grabbing all of our information. We need to slap them back. So that's the essence of this mock election process. When you go to vote, you check in. By the way, this stack of ballots here is 1,500. There's 500 sets. There's 1,500 pieces of paper. A precinct with 1,500 voters would take 3 of these bins full. We could line up 2 sets of 3 to make it comfortable. And when you cast your ballot, you then, when you mark your ballot, you then place it into the bin, and then it would be counted after the polls close. And these binder clips, that's all we need for 1,500 votes to count them up. The ingredients to this recipe are pretty simple, very limited, very inexpensive, and so that is just a demonstration of what's needed to have these mock elections. So we need to have these going on all over the country and introduce people to this simple process where we just vote with paper ballots, and they're sorted and they're counted the day of election at the precinct after the polling location closes. We don't have to send our ballots to centralized counting centers because they're not big and complex, and they're intentionally impossible to count except for machines that we can't trust. So we should not trust machines in our voting and our tabulation process. So this would be it's going to be a lot of fun. I invite anybody that's interested to just pick up a kit of 1,000 ballots of each, or a half kit or 2 kits for 2,000, or one with another 500. So if you have 1,500 ballots, you could build up to, through having some small meetings, gather up a bunch of ballots and then demonstrate counting 1,500 ballots. But Steve Bannon has said it's important to see what you see. So Steve, if you see this, a guy like Steve could put this on the map. President Trump needs to be having these mock elections with 1,500 votes cast at every one of his rallies. That needs to happen, folks. We need to get people to bring that to his attention. We don't have to have every person in attendance at a Trump rally cast their vote. We have a fun mock election that demonstrates how fast and efficient it is, how transparent it can be, how accurate it can be, and that's what we need to do. Charlie Kirk's got a meeting next month. There are meetings happening everywhere, and it's easy to bolt on a mock election because I just showed you the ingredients are very minimal, and you can pre-sort the ballots. So if you have a short meeting, you can just hand out ballots. People can cast them and then put their ballots in the bin and then count them up lickety-split, and you're done. And people's eyes will open and their jaws will drop. And folks, I need a little bit of financial support. I need support. Please pray that this can become a thing. And by all means, time and talent, folks. Cutting in a check is the easiest thing for someone to do, but put your time and talent into something like this to help restore our election integrity, because folks, if we don't have election integrity, we are no longer governed by the consent of the governed. Have a great day. God bless you and God bless America.